Hello YouTube and welcome to my IELTS Task 2 playlist where I'm going to show you how to write a Band 9 essay. Let's begin. This is the question that the essay is going to answer. In many countries, it is obligatory for school children to wear a uniform. Obligatory means mandatory, that you have to do it. Do the advantages of this policy outweigh the disadvantages? So that's the question that I am going to answer. Provide reasons to support your answer and include any appropriate examples to illustrate your points, and we're going to write a minimum of 250 words. I have decided that I am in favour of school uniform, so I am going to say that in my opinion the advantages do outweigh the disadvantages. I could have done it the other way round, and I've decided to use a 5-part essay structure for this question. I'm going to have an introduction, I'm going to have a second paragraph where I give my first reason, and then another paragraph where I give my second reason why I support uniform in schools. I'll then have a concession paragraph where I will explain one of the arguments against school uniform, and then I'll argue against that. And then finally, I'm going to have a conclusion paragraph. So here is my introduction. Firstly, I'm going to reference the beginning. In many countries, it is obligatory for school children to wear a uniform. So I'm going to reference that. In many countries, the enforcement of school uniform, and then I've said it is a contentious issue. Enforcement means when you are forced to do something, and a contentious issue means a controversial issue. And then I've added this adverbial: sparking fierce debate regarding its merits and drawback. To spark debate is a collocation, so you can use that. And you can also, if you want to say that the debate is very passionate, you can say fierce debate. That's also a collocation. Now, I have used merits and drawbacks to mean advantages and disadvantages so that I'm not repeating those words. However, I firmly believe the advantages of mandatory school uniform significantly outweigh the disadvantages. So I'm stating my point of view, that what I will be arguing in this essay. In this paragraph, I am going to give my first reason of why I support school uniform in schools. Primarily, school uniforms foster equality among students. Now, I have used the plural uniforms. In my introduction, I used the singular. That's because in this introduction, I'm talking about school uniform in general. However, in the second paragraph, I'm now giving actual examples, and to me, as a native speaker, the plural sounds more appropriate here. By eliminating visible markers of socioeconomic status, uniforms diminish bullying and social pressure related to fashion choices. So to eliminate, to get rid of, to remove, diminish, to reduce. For example, in schools with pupils from diverse financial backgrounds, uniforms create a sense of belonging, thus enhancing the overall school experience for all. To enhance means to make better, to improve. And diverse financial backgrounds, it means that you have some pupils who come from rich families, some from poor families, and some in between. My second reason as to why I support uniform. Furthermore, uniforms contribute to improved discipline and focus within the educational environment. Numerous educators comment that schools with uniform policies often experience superior student behaviour and academic performance. Rather than say school, I've said educational environment. Many teachers, I've said numerous educators. They, this is the teachers, argue that the correlation arises from reduced distractions related to clothing. And then we have an adverbial, establishing a more serious learning atmosphere. So educational environment, I've now said learning atmosphere. When students wear uniforms, they are more likely to adopt a mindset orientated toward learning rather than one focused solely on fashion. This is my concession paragraph where I give an argument against school uniform in schools. Critics argue that mandatory uniforms, so obligatory, forced, curtail students' freedom of expression. Curtail is a fantastic high-level verb, and it means to limit. Students' freedom of expression. You'll notice that the apostrophe is at the end because students is a plural noun. And then we have a subordinate clause, as clothing serves as a means of self-identity. That is the argument, one argument against school uniform. I then address this. Whilst this concern is valid, I accept that it is a valid concern. The primary purpose of school is education. So I'm arguing against this now, not personal fashion statements. Schools can still promote individuality through encouraging critical thinking and self-esteem, two qualities which will serve young people well in future endeavours. I've given the counter-argument there, I've recognised it and I've argued against it, and then I've given an alternative option. Self-expression can be, you can foster that through critical thinking and self-esteem. Here is our conclusion paragraph where I summarise the argument. In conclusion, despite some legitimate concerns about restricting personal expression, so legitimate is a synonym of valid here, the advantages of mandatory school uniforms, such as fostering equality and enhancing discipline, clearly outweigh the disadvantages. Here I am concluding what the advantages are, and then I am stating my case that I believe they outweigh the disadvantages. And then a summary at the very end. Implementing a uniform policy can lead to a more focused, cohesive and respectful educational environment, enriching students' learning experiences. And I'm just going to take away that comma before and in the list. This essay will be available to download as part of a PDF file which will contain at least 10 model essays for the IELTS Task 2 writing. When it is ready, a link will be available in the description box of this video. Before you go, I'd like to share with you a very exciting project that I'm working on, and it is this book. This is a children's book for children who are learning English. It will be a real book that they can open and write in. It will feature simple articles about animals and then some exercises. So if you are a parent or if you have a child in your family who you think would benefit from this, I believe it will be for children from 9 to 11 years old, possibly younger or possibly older, depending on the child. When this is ready, if you think this would be good for you, come back to this video and it will be in the description box. And in fact, it might even be there now, depending on when you are watching this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do. And it would be wonderful if you could give this video a like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.